And now we're going to get our cavalry to follow me, and we're hopefully going to get our infantry to go to the front there, and we are going to charge in, and oh, there's going to be so much devastation. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Native. Now, when we left off, we were attempting to take Hrus castle from the Nords, and we suffered a pretty bad defeat. And, well, yes, you can see here exactly what happened. Many of our prisoners are indeed still here, and actually there's quite a few very valuable units. Now, I went to my garrison in Nara, and I have retrieved a whole bunch of people. Now, these guys, they're the highest levels that I could see in my garrison there. Now, there are a whole bunch of others. I have about, I don't know, 300 or so units in the garrison there, and let me just say, these are literally the strongest, and that's it. I think I have about maybe about 50% of those being mid-tier units, and then the rest are just kind of low levels. So hopefully no one's going to try and take it, but hopefully the numbers will suffice and try and keep the AI away from attempting to prey upon our only big moneymaker. But anyway, we have Rolf, we have Borcha, and we have Jeremus here as well. So let's do this. Not entirely sure if we're going to be able to do it. It is a siege tower. Hopefully no one's going to turn up. I'm talking about maybe... Do we have King Ragnar as a prisoner? I don't think we did. So it's highly unlikely that we are maybe going to be seeing him, because obviously he's going to be recuperating himself, and hopefully he's not going to send anyone else to defend this area. Because if he does, then I don't know whether 75 units, which is the force I brought here, is going to be enough, because they have 69 or around that number in the garrison here. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, there's a whole bunch of prisoners, and I only have 120 maximum army size. So if I end up actually being successful and taking this, I'm going to need a little bit of space in the army just to make sure that I'm able to take as many people as possible into my army, and, you know, indeed incorporate them once again into being a strong force. And I don't know whether that's going to happen here, because obviously they do have a whole bunch of very, very strong units. I mean, they've got Nord veterans here, Nord warriors, and they're usually very good at what they do. I mean, Nord warriors are not great in terms of their stats or anything like that, but they are going to be enough to really prevent any kind of invading force like we are doing right here from actually being that effective, because they have shields, you know, they have shields, and they have a decent enough HP pool to prevent themselves from being eliminated that easily, even if you do get past their shield. So it's going to be one of those things where we have to be very, very cautious, but we also have to be extremely deadly with whatever action we decide to take. So you can see here me attempting to be a little bit more efficient with my arrows here, because we're not going to be shot that much in this siege. Like in previous sieges, I've been able to go around on the ground and basically be like, oh, let me just scavenge a full quiver all the way back to 30 arrows. This is not going to happen in this particular siege, because while there may be, you know, maybe a couple of archers, this guy, for example, well, there was a guy, and he did give us an arrow, you know, but that's the point. He is dead now, and there's a very, very few amount of archers on the enemy's side, because we eliminated most of those in the previous round. But we must pay them back. We must pay them back for what they did to us, because we were imprisoned in their, well, prisoner's hold, or whatever you want to call it, and, well, let's just say that the food is not very good. The food is not very good at all, if they would feed us at all. I mean, really, they're not very nice. So let's hopefully be able to teach them a bit of a lesson on hospitality. I mean, it's obviously not a 5-star hotel or anything like that. It's not even a 2-star. But yeah, it's something I would like to avoid in the future, because let's face it, King Barney, he's used to the creature comforts, isn't he? He's very much used to those things. And it's been a long time. I actually don't think... Yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've actually gotten taken prisoner in this entire series as yet. Maybe once, but I think that might be it. So that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. In all these episodes, only getting taken prisoner right now basically at the height of our strength. It's a bit weird how we'd get taken prisoner right now, because I actually thought to myself that I would have a pretty easy time of retreating if I were to have any kind of issue. And it doesn't seem like that was the case, because obviously I had to retreat when I had maybe above 10, 15, 20 or so units left over. I decided to retreat at a much lower level because I thought that we'd actually have a victory on our hands, but that was not the case. So a bit of a shame there. But anyway, we are almost gonna get in here. I mean, you can see that many of our units, we've got Slave Crushers, we've got Sword Sisters, we've got some other units in the front there, namely Lezelet, who decided to do absolutely nothing, unfortunately. But yeah, this is where things get a little bit worrisome, because I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna have the units that are capable of actually getting in to the battlements. If they don't, then I don't know what to do, really. I really don't know what to do. It's going to be one of those things where you're going to try your best and it's just not going to be enough. Maybe. We'll see if that actually happens. Alright, so we're getting inside now, and this is where things actually get extremely worrying, because you can see here that, well, on the siege tower at the moment is the only unit I actually have remaining. That is it. That's all I have. The enemy only has about 20 remaining, but you can see here that, wow, okay, that was a lot of damage being done right there. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate it if you could stop doing that. That would be great. Anyway, we are hopefully going to prevail here, but it is, wow, just very, very unlikely that we'll maybe do this. Oh, no, there we go, there we go. We actually did get through many of the higher tier units, and finally have prevailed. Actually, extremely luckily right there, because I was worried. Look at that. We only have 6 remaining out of every single unit that we brought here. Can't believe it. Alright, so there you go. We did lose... Oh, wow. 34. That is really bad. But it doesn't matter, because what we have done is rescue our companions, our much-needed companions, in the form of Borcha, Rolf, and Jeremus. And of course he is probably the most important because he does have medic skills, and I should be able to take most of these guys, if not all of them, back into our army, because these guys are fantastic. I mean, we've got Swadian Knights, we've got Nord Huskars, Swadian Sergeants, Kurgit Lancers. All these guys are very, very good to have in your army. Going to try and take some slave drivers as well, Rodok sharpshooters. I'm actually not going to be discriminating too much any further, because I'm finding it relatively difficult to take these siege tower castles and indeed towns as it is. So yeah, I feel like maybe imposing a bit of an artificial barrier on myself is maybe not the best idea at the moment. So let's just compromise a little bit, shall we? And we're going to see if I can... Oh, wow, okay. The rest of these units are not necessarily the greatest thing ever, so I guess I'm just going to try and take the units that we might be able to level up into something really, really good. Swadians and peasant women, most likely, and mercenary crossbowmen. We can take these as well. I think I can actually take all of them. No, I can't take all of them, but I can take as many as I can. And there you go. That's what's going to happen there. Not going to take these prisoners. As I've said before, I just have so much money that I was capable of losing over 200,000 in the previous episode, and yet I'm still perfectly capable of buying every single, I don't even know, every single marketplace in the upper region and clearing them out completely without actually having a problem on that. And that's not me boasting, it's just a fact. I don't really want to take any loot either, thank you very much. Alright, so we're going to be giving this to Lord Akadan once again, because I'm going to try and just get his relation up as much as possible. Lord Garmal is, of course, not liking this one bit. But that's just how it has to be. We just have to make sure that Lord Akadan is doing a good job. Alright, so I'm going to wait here for some time. We have maximum amount of units in our army once again. And hopefully I did a good job building Barney as a character, because right now his trainer skill is at 4. Yeah. It probably would have been much better to level that up to about 7, I'd say. But you can see here that we're actually gaining some pretty decent levels just from the experience gained from the actual siege. So it's not too bad. We have Jeremus here. What? What did I actually do there? I did not want to speak to him, actually. But I suppose it's actually not too bad, because we're able to level up his intelligence a little bit. So let's do some surgery and some wound treatment, I suppose. And we'll just level up his one-handed proficiency. There we go. I actually wanted to get him to move up. Not entirely sure how I was able to talk to him by doing that. Did I actually go down to the talk button? Oh, that's a bit weird. I actually didn't see myself do that, but oh well, never mind. And Rolf, obviously, he's a very good fighter. And Borcher as well. They all have really good armor on as well, which is really nice to see. Alright, there you go. And I'm gonna basically just wait here for a little bit, and I think we do have Lezelet, and he actually has a decent amount of trainer skill anyway, so it's not really a big deal if I don't have too much, but it does stack. It does stack, so the main character and many of your companions can have trainer skill, and it can benefit your units greatly. So it's just a bit of a shame that I have not built Barney in that way. And I'm actually kind of surprised about that, because he has how much? Oh, yeah, he only has... Wow. He only has 15 intelligence. Well, next time he levels up, which is going to be a very long time away, I'm probably going to level up that intelligence. Probably going to get another point in trainer skill, and maybe something else. Maybe some Iron Flesh or something like that. Alright, so I think we might actually be in a... Yeah, I think everyone is back to full strength. And I'm going to go over to Chalbeck Castle, because obviously this is the last castle in the area that is under Nord control, with the exception of obviously Telrog, and we know what's going on at Telrog. Yeah, I don't need to tell you. But anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so here's the deal. This is actually not a bad thing for us to try and take. However, you can see here that the amount of Nord veterans and Nord warriors is going to be pretty difficult. So I don't exactly know what's going to happen there. Oh, look at that though. Our trainer skill is coming through for us just a little bit. I mean, even if we gain, you know, just a little bit here, a little bit there, and you know, a couple of upgrades, that's going to make a big difference overall. Even though we are going up against Nord veterans and Nord warriors, and they are obviously much better than any units we could potentially level up at the moment. But I'm going to wait here a little bit, and we're going to see what happens. Well, look what we have here. Oh yes, we have something that I've been waiting for quite some time, and it was literally just a matter of time until this happened. But the Sarranids have declared war against us, and we'll try and take their town nearby, but it's highly unlikely that that's going to yield any results, because they've had so much time to just get a huge garrison together, and I don't think we're going to be able to do anything against them as it stands. But this is going to enable us to, you know, maybe kill a couple of their vassals in the area, because I've seen a huge amount of them running by me at the moment. And you may be asking, well, where are they running by you from? Well, I'm actually in the castle at the moment, of Fyhrr Castle. And yeah, I'm basically just waiting here, because this fellow right here has decided to besiege it. And this is quite brave of him, I must admit, because I ran right by him and he decided not to do anything. He is a Vagier defector. So this is going to be kind of interesting. Most of the Sarranids are attempting to raid my village now, which is not very nice. And Tyr is ripe for the taking, and hopefully that will enable us to eliminate the Sarranids once and for all. It has been a long time coming, has it not? So let's head in and try and take him out. I actually wanted to defend against him in an actual siege defense, but, well, sometimes plans just do not come to fruition the way you imagine them, and, well, we are now doing a field battle instead. Because if the Sarranids didn't declare war against us, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm just going to wait here for a little bit longer and see what happens. But yeah, unfortunately, they forced my hand by declaring war a little bit prematurely, and I did not want to do that. I wanted to tell them to follow me. Thank you very much. There you go. And now we're going to get our cavalry to follow me, and we're hopefully going to get our infantry to go to the front there, and we are going to charge in, and oh, there's going to be so much devastation. It's going to be very nice. Oh yes, just watch this. It's going to be so nice. Oh yeah, we are going straight into the side of them where most of their archers are, which is even better, and I will be able to hopefully get a decent amount of experience here, because I'm actually wanting Barney to level up. It's been a while since he's leveled up, so, well, has it? I think it was actually just the last episode where he leveled up. Well, never mind. The point is that I'm impatient, apparently, and I'd like to get him another point in trainer skill to further help us to level up our unit, and I am actually killing quite a few with our wonderful axe here, and hopefully that will contribute a great deal to the next level. And yeah, nice Vagia guard kill right there. I'm just basically trying to pinpoint some of the highest tier units just so that I can get the most experience out of it, and hopefully level up Barney a little bit quicker. But there you go, that was a very devastating battle for this fellow to take, because we had 40 cavalry. He cannot do anything against 40 cavalry, really. I mean, I don't think many people can. I mean, at this point, you know, you're just basically running in against so many. And yeah, okay, so I'd like to go back to Praven, actually, because I don't have that much food, but I think we're going to have to, and I mean really have to, go over to Tyr and see what's actually going on there, because I have no information about how many is in the garrison. So let's see what we can do about attacking these guys. Now, bear in mind, they are raiding the village. So we have 177. Now, bear in mind that we have 120, so we have about 57 or so villagers, 57 exactly, actually. But yeah, we have to, you know, we have a couple of villagers actually helping us out. So let's charge and actually see what happens here. Now, this is obviously going to be a, this is not a very good fight for us to take. Let's be honest. This is not a good fight for us to take. I was hopeful that I might get them into a field battle, but I don't know whether it really matters. Just bear in mind, however, that this is going to be one of those times when our cavalry is not really getting a good deal, and they are going to probably have some pretty major difficulties here. So let's see if we're going to be able to counterbalance that by doing our own thing and attempting to maybe kill a couple of them ourselves. I mean, they do have Sarranid units, which we haven't fought for quite some time, but it seems as though we are actually getting a good deal here, so I guess it's not too bad. I was just a bit worried because it's very tight, you know, it's close quarters combat, and we're not really going to be able to use the mobility of our cavalry to its greatest effect. So that's kind of the thing that I was attempting to kind of convey there. But anyway, let's just try and eliminate as many of these guys as possible, and hopefully not take too much damage in the process. Yeah, no. Thank you very much. Stop your throwing. And we also do want to be a bit careful about being absolutely murdered by everyone whenever they spawn in here. Let me jump into the cabbage patch for some reason. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can jump out of here before I get absolutely pincushioned to death. That would not be nice. Okay, there we go. Come on. There we are. Nice. Okay, so if I can just do a little bit of extra damage here and kind of distract them as well, because distracting them is really going to make a huge difference to the amount of units that we can actually get over here. Because our AI, you know, while it's decent enough, it's not really going to know exactly what it should be doing. And obviously, it's just going to kill everything on the way here. You know, because it's going to try and seek out and destroy every single enemy unit from point A to point B. And that's perfectly fine in this aspect, but it would have been nice for them to maybe, you know, just charge a little bit faster. But obviously, we are in their spawn area, and we've eliminated all of them. There you go. We actually eliminated the first wave. And obviously, because this is native, the reinforcement waves are limited to a small number. But we are getting 16 renown, which is a fantastic amount to gain from such a simple battle. So I'm very happy about that. Now, how many did we lose? Nothing. 1 minute. 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 1 minute we lost nothing because Jeremus is with us once again, and he's providing so much stability for our forces. So let's hope that he's able to do that for this next round as well. And this time, I'm going to allow our forces just to charge straight on in, and we're going to see if that has a bit of a different effect, because obviously we're going to be a little bit closer to the enemy's spawn area, and that's not really very good, so maybe it's going to be bad for us, but let's just try it out a little bit, because I'd like to see the differences in just attacking straight away and being a little bit more cautious, and then we'll know exactly what to do in the rounds going forward. It seems to me like this is worse. Yeah, it seems to me like this is worse. We're taking many more casualties. I mean, obviously the farmers, they are expected to, you know, get knocked unconscious and actually die here, even though I don't really want them to. But yeah, that's kind of expected. But we are losing many more of our own units as well. So it is definitely a case for playing a little bit more cautiously in the future. So that's good, because now we know exactly what we need to do. And it was just for science, I guess. Anyway, we are losing a couple. I mean, how many have we lost so far? We've only lost 4 of our own units, which is really not even a big deal. That is not a big deal at all. So I think we should be fine. But the one thing we have to worry about is, of course, those... Well, I actually don't know what we need to worry about, because I'm actually thinking to myself, we're not fighting Nords, are we? I was thinking to myself, maybe they're going to have some Nord Huskarls or something that they're going to get in here. And we are actually fighting a couple of Nords here. We are fighting a Nord vassal that has defected to the Sarranids, but the other units, not so much. I mean, obviously we're fighting Sarranids and we're fighting something else, but I don't exactly know what else. So I guess I really don't have to worry about too much, because for the most part, they're not actually fielding very dangerous units at all. I think the only fellow that could have dangerous units was the guy with 186 in his army. And I don't exactly know where he's from, so obviously that is, you know, pretty good, isn't it? Yes, having a lot of information about our opponent is fantastic, isn't it? I'm being sarcastic. Anyway, there you go. 8 renown once again, and we did lose 7 to death this time, so that obviously is a big difference. Alright, 107 versus 71 or something like that, so we are just going to stay here this time. We're just going to stay here. We're going to allow them to come into a much wider area, and we're going to force them to go into basically a bottleneck, and it's kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious, isn't it, that this is a much better tactic than the one previously, so yeah. Didn't really need to do that for science, but I suppose it's okay, because we at least we know, you know, in concrete terms what exactly would be going on here. And it's kind of weird, isn't it? It's kind of weird, because as soon as I say that, as soon as I say, yes, this is a much better tactic, I lose many more units. But I guess it is because we are up against Nord trained footmen this time around, and last time we were up against not very good units, I suppose. So wow, that's not very good. I mean, we've seen in the past that anyone, including ourselves, having a big amount of one kind of unit. So, for example, this fellow is fielding a huge amount of Nord-trained footmen. And if you have 50 of those versus 50 of some random amounts of different kinds of units, then you're probably going to have a much more difficult time of dealing with the consolidated force, because they all know exactly what they're supposed to do. You know, they are all just regular standard infantry, or whatever the case may be. And usually infantry is really good when you use the same kind of unit. So if you obviously just use same kind of Swadian sergeants, for example, same kind of Orodok sergeants, or in this case, you know, maybe Nord Huskarls. You know, if you have the same kind of infantry, they're usually going to be really good. Maybe it's just because I'm using a whole bunch of cavalry, and infantry is obviously going to be a little bit better in close quarters combat, but I'm very surprised to see that we lost so many there. But there you go. We were able to eliminate them, and I'm going to be taking them prisoner. I am going to be taking them prisoner, because I don't really mind so much if these guys join me or not, but I'm going to be taking them prisoner. And there you go, we've successfully defended Hrus Castle and Rizi. And I'm actually going to be going over to Beeck Castle in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.